Hey, there I am. Happy Mercury retrograde. What's up, witches? It's Mercury retro. Whole different message coming out now. Oh, yeah, did you see how messy the decks were? That's because I was like slapping them down at 7:29.
There I am.
All right, hold on. Let me mute this now. Too many Luna's voices now. Okay. Oh my goodness. Breath. I'm going to take a breath. Hi, Samantha. Hi, Stephanie. Where's Doris? I don't see her. I don't see her. Hello, Roxanne. Welcome, everybody. I'm so happy to see you here. So, what I was saying that you could not hear is that welcome if you are new or if you're a regular. What is this going on up here? Never mind. Welcome to you. And if you are new and you'd like to participate in the chat, just hit the subscribe button, and then you have to wait one whole minute before you can join in and have fun in the group. And we have a wonderful, welcoming, intimate group here. So please check in and say hi. Let us know where you're from. Hello, Catherine. Hey, it's so good to see you. Yikes. All right. Like I said, I was slapping the decks down because I had some picked out, and then I started laying them out, and it's like, I only have 5 decks. So I had to go remember what I wanted to grab. And I think, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay. So how are you doing? We are coming up on Beltane already. Natalie, welcome. Welcome, my darling. Thank you for making it at this odd hour for you. It's ungodly early in the morning, right? Very early in the morning. At any rate, welcome to you all. Happy Mercury retro. Happy Beltane. Beltane kind of came early here. This is like the first time I can ever remember that by Beltane of this year, calendar Beltane, a lot of the flowering trees are going to be done flowering. I mean, we still have some in full. Forsythia are done and leafed out. Red buds are fully out, so they're going to be leafing out pretty soon. And all the other little, crab apples and probably those vile pear trees that are taking over everything, the blossoms are going and the leaves are coming. So it's something else. Very early. 9 a.m. on a sunny autumn day. Well, that's not bad at all. I hope you have a cuppa. Everyone else, I hope you have a cuppa as well, of whatever makes you happy. So I realize that the title, and these topics, I just kind of throw them out and then we'll see what happens. The season of life and death. That sounds dire. It sounds dire. But the truth is, this is the highest polarity of the wheel of the year. Beltane is the time of life ignited, and Samhain is the time of life extinguished. Beltane is about the fertilization of the seed. And then when we go into summer, we go into the fruition and harvest part. But the biggest poles are Beltane and Samhain because it is life and death. When you look at Lammas and Imbolc, those are kind of like youth and aging, sort of. But the big gateways are Beltane and Samhain. And it's in sharp relief for me this year because of the people that we lost. Bang, bang, So, and we're watching it flowering and, thinking about, thank the goddess it's flowering, because it did kind of help. Help when you're dealing with someone's passing. So anyway, rather than life and death, because it's a wheel and every part of the wheel contains the other parts, it's just the emphasis that shifts. What we talk about rather than life and death is life in death and death in life. At Beltane, life is busting out all over, but death is in that life. Death is what is fertilizing that growth. And the things that are coming up out of the ground are the seeds that were the end of the harvest when, everything was cut down. And then the seeds represent that death. And they are put into that compost of dead, rotting things, and out comes life. At Samhain, it is life in death. And the same thing, death is all around us. The outer is in that time of death. And yet we have the seeds in our hands. When we clear the fields, there are the seeds that are the promise of fertility next spring that we can plant in the spring. So it's that balance. And sometimes we think of balance as not too much of anything, but balance in this case is the extremes, life and death, birth and death, you know, and because they are so polar opposite, it brings balance to the rest of it. So I thought, you know, we'll just, the decks I picked tonight are kind of hopefully reflecting that, although I was just sort of down to the last minute. You know, it was one of those days where, oh, I've got tons of time. And then somehow on a Mercury retrograde, time got away. So let's do a grounding. And I want to, let me catch up here. Catherine, Laura, welcome, sweetie. And Catherine and Darcy, baby, I'm so glad you're here. We have missed you so much on live streams. Everybody say hi to Darcy and give her some love. All right. So let's do a good grounding, huh? Pedro, welcome from Portugal. Yay, I am so happy that you're here. All right, everybody, let's settle in. Let me settle in first. I'm still kind of frenzied, so hold on. I need this too. I'm going to pull the mic over a little bit. All right, everybody. Wiggle around, get comfortable on your seat, on your couch, whatever you're sitting, lying on. Get nice and comfortable and try to make sure your spine is straight. Let's do a little, I need a stretch, sorry. Oop, there went that shoulder. Stretch a bit. I've had a terrible pinch that keeps coming and going, so all right, now settle down. Feet flat on the floor, please. Nothing crossed. And 1 second. Let me make sure I am set here. Yes. Right. Okay. So now settle in. Feel gravity holding you on, whatever is holding you up. And let's bring the attention down into your body and feel your skin. And, you know, along with that, you might feel all those joints that are aching. But accept them, open to whatever sensations you're feeling. If you find that you're feeling pain somewhere in your body, rather than trying to push that out of your awareness, open up to it. Just feel yourself opening and sort of walking into it. This is to be an acceptance of where we are right now, not trying to fix anything. When we're in acceptance of the moment and everything that's happening in it, then we are in our power place. And we are fully present. All right, feel your skin now. Feel it from the top of your head and all the way down to the bottoms of your feet. Feel the front and feel the back and feel the sides. So that your awareness is fully in your body, and the awareness that touches your skin kind of wakes it up. You might even feel, if you point your attention to your arms, for instance, that maybe you feel the hairs kind of rise a little bit with the energy, particularly when we run the energy through. But we're being fully in the body now. And breathing. Breathe from your belly. Keeping the shoulders soft and down and away from your ears, keeping your shoulder blades tucked in around your spine as much as possible, nothing strenuous. And for now, let's put the attention at the root chakra, the perineum, base of your spine. Allow that energy center to vibrate and open. And as you're scanning and feeling the condition of your body, allow now any energy that might be excess to drain off. Any burden that you're carrying, any weight you're carrying, this can be on any level, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional. Anything that is in excess. Just let it drain. And know that in this process, you can't actually let go of things that need to be with you. Your body is very smart, your system is very smart, and your psyche is very smart. And everything you actually need stays, everything you do not need drains, drains, drains. And as it drains, you feel a wave of relaxation following it from the top of your head. And really feel your scalp relaxing. You can let it happen with the out breath if you want to. And you feel the muscles in your forehead and around your eyes. Your brow unfurrows and feel space between your eyebrows, and all the little muscles around your eyes relax, and your eyeballs just kind of go, hey, and relax. And the same goes for the rest of your scalp, all the way down the back of your head, around your ears, particularly the back of your jaw, that TMJ, that temporomandibular joint that joins your skull with your jaw. Let that be soft and relaxed. And feel your tongue come to rest on the bottom of your mouth, and all the little muscles in your cheeks and around your nose are relaxing. Notice how much time we're spending here. We carry a lot of tension here. And then feel that wave really begin to pick up some speed as it rolls down your neck and down into your shoulders. Feel your deltoids relax and your shoulders relax, and feel it flow down your arms. Whatever your arms are resting on, feel them get a little heavier. The palms of your hands relax, your wrist. Every finger, every joint of every finger, so soft. As the wave rolls down now into your torso and you feel it front and back, your chest relaxes and opens up. Between your shoulder blades gets very soft, and everything is resting comfortably as it flows down into your midsection and your mid-back, and you feel your belly get even softer, making it even easier to take in a nice, deep, easy breath. And let it roll down into your lower belly and into your butt. Relax your butt cheeks. Feel them just kind of puddle on whatever you're sitting on. And feel the tops of your thighs and everything around your hip joints as it flows down your thighs to your knees. Down your lower legs, into your ankles, through your feet. Feel the bottoms of your feet open up and down to the toes. Wiggle your toes a little bit, feel them get soft and relaxed. Take just a moment to sit with how it feels now. And now on your next exhale, I want you to imagine that you are exhaling out through your skin. And every single little toxin that's left in your body can just exit through your skin easily. Your skin is an organ of elimination. That's why we sweat. And then on the next in-breath, you breathe in through your skin. Stay with that image for the next several breaths, and just have an image in your mind of that air clear, clean, flowing in through every pore and then out again. And when you breathe in, it goes all the way to the very center of your core, and when you breathe out, it goes all the way out. Now let your body do this on its own, and put your attention to that cord again, to your root. Follow it down into the earth. In the northern hemisphere, getting softer and warmer. In the southern hemisphere, beginning now to cool. Dark, rich, fertile earth. Feel that cord. Move down and connect with the electricity of the life force of the earth, the life force in that dirt, at both ends of the spectrum, both ends of the wheel. And you feel that energy begin to infuse into that root and rise, rise, rise. Look at the green and gold flashes. How does it feel when it connects with your physical body and begins to rush in, rushing down your legs? Feel all your cells respond. Feel your skin respond as it starts to rise up now from your pelvis into your belly, into your back. Rising, rising. It's flowing in so fast and rising up, energizing and cleansing and vibrating all your cells, rushing down your arms, up your neck, into your head, and flowing, flowing, flowing. You can hold an infinite amount of this energy. It's like little green and gold fairies holding hands and spinning. Let it go where it will. It will go where you need it the most. It will heal what needs healing. It will shake loose what needs to be gone. And when it does, those things are dense and they sink down into the ground. And now, exhaling fully on the next in-breath, pull up more energy, make it brighter. Let only the air go through your nose. And again. And again. Breathing it out the crown. Feel it pouring out the top. See how high it goes before it bends and arcs down around you, surrounding you on all sides. Big and spacious. Living and protective all the way down around you. Let it touch the earth, let it sink in, hug your root and back down into the earth. Establish this circuit up through the inside, out through the top, down around the outside and back down. This is Gaia on one side of the wheel. She is fertile, blossoming, opening, and waiting. On the other side, she is coming into cronehood, having given everything she has manifested. And now reaching up through the crown into the cosmos, breathe in and feel the blue and silver come dancing down, so light, pouring into your body and joining with the green gold of earth. You can also hold an infinite amount of this energy. Feel them blend, attracting each other in a magnetic embrace. All the way down to your feet. You can almost hear your cells laughing with this energy. The lightness of the cosmic energy balances the substance of the earth energy. Look at all these beautiful little wheels of green and blue, silver and gold dancing through your system. Now taking in a nice deep breath. As you exhale, feel that energy flowing down the root so easily. And feel it go to the point where your energy egg meets the root, and let it come up the outside. Notice that the inhale and going upward balances the density of earth energy. The exhale coming downward lightens the substance of earth energy and grounds the lightness of cosmic energy. And now exhaling on the next exhale again, fully out. Full in-breath, and on the exhale, push out a layer and let it go to join with everybody else's light. And our wise energy systems know just how to share energy with each other. We come from the same source. This is all the same energy. And sharing it allows everything to come into balance. Through our connection, there's abundant energy for us to heal and shape and manifest. There is abundant love to share for everyone. Love is the healing energy. Love is the energy of fertility, of ignition, of life beginning. Love is the energy of the giveaway at the harvest. Embracing both sides of the wheel. In perfect love and perfect trust, balanced. And now I would like you to reach out to your guides and guardians, allies and ancestors. Thank them for their presence here. And to this incredible celestial and earthly gathering, Gaia and Sol, I call in the elemental energies by air and fire. May you be purified and charged. By water and earth, may all be blessed and made whole. And by the sound of the bell, may we ask Spirit in. And may the sound of this bell further purify our sacred space. And may the third bell uplift uplift all of us. And we offer fresh water. We offer the fire of Azrael. And feel the ancestors coming close. All right. I want to do this from here on out. Spend more time at the beginning doing a full grounding and energy running and all of this because we need it. I need it. And I'm going to catch up here. Walking into silver and gold, green and blue, let the fae come play with you. Absolutely. Hello, and Ellen Marie, welcome, my dear. All right, for the newbies that are here and not checked into chat, if you want to, please make sure you're subscribed. You have to wait 1 whole minute before you can join in the chat, but we'd love to have you there. I love to see the engagement and the conversation that's going on. Hello, Marcy. Do not apologize, my love. You can do the meditation later. I'm just glad you're here. Yay. Okay. Let's meet our decks. So looking kind of for the balance, and I'll tell you the first 2 were these, but we'll go, in order. This is the Intuitive Night Goddess deck, and this is by, who is this by? Puting. All right, I need to see what's going on my phone. This is Lindsay Silverman, Eye of Astro. BRB. I see, that things are happening in the chat so that I know it's not quote. Okay. Anyway, 'tis my children conversing. Good. I can see the chat happening, so I don't, I'm not worried that Sam is texting me going, we can't hear you. Okay. So, second deck is the giant deck, the Wisdom Keepers Oracle by Rosie Aronson, PhD. Then, of course, Dreams of Gaia by Raven Phelan. Then we have, this was the first deck, the Music Oracles. And this, I don't think we have authors. This is just like a publisher deck. Lawrence King Publishing, but we don't have any author attribution. Then we have the Forest of Enchantment Tarot. And then we have a deck that I have not yet unboxed. And I haven't even looked at it because it's been sitting there. I intended to unbox it at the beginning of April, but then I didn't. And this is the Beltane Oracle, the Seasons of the Witch Beltane Oracle. So she's making her debut tonight, and you and I will see it together. But the Music Oracles, that one, they just came to me because I thought we need some light energy. I mean, we all do, always. And this is a balance point. Even though it's extremes, this is still a balance point. So I grabbed that deck and I asked who was going to kind of set the tone for us, and Joni Mitchell came out. So Dee, when you watch this, this one's for you. My sister-in-law loves Joni Mitchell. And this deck has 3 little categories of message. There's an attitude one, there's a lifestyle one, and then an inspiration. And the attitude one here says, learn to write in your own blood. And that one was just like, wow. But I understand what it is. She's talking about, I'm sure as a songwriter, being vulnerable, drawing on your own raw emotion, drawing on that place of truth, of your own experience of the extremes of life and death, And when you do draw from that genuine place, it will resonate. It will resonate. Some things need confessing, others are better left unsaid. There's a dichotomy there. And never lose sight of the miraculous is the third one, and I absolutely adore that. She's going back in the deck, and then we're going to grab our Astro dice. Baby Joe, I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad you made it too. I haven't seen Snickerdoodles yet. I think Samantha's in the kitchen baking right now. All right, Astro dice. What energies are we focusing on tonight? Oh, we have the South Node. The South Node in Scorpio. How interesting, in the second house. Okay, let's pry this loose. The South Node is the known path. It's kind of almost the way backward. It's, you know, it's not the karmic way forward. So it can talk about how we, like the path that we have come from, and it can serve to bring into our awareness the characteristics of that path and past mistakes, so we don't go that way. It represents the easy way. You know, I'm just going to go back, and it's kind of that sometimes we stay in situations that are not optimal because it's familiar. You know, that would be South Node kind of things. So I don't care if you know, I'm miserable, or, you know, living this same karmic lesson over and over. It's familiar, so I'll stay here. And on a Mercury retrograde, it's a good time to look back and look at your karmic journey. What have you learned? Where have you been? What are the things that have changed you? Those life and death kind of things, your experiences of birth, your experiences of death at this time of year. Whichever side of the wheel you're on, if you're on the Beltane side, take a look at it and say, you know, what is my experience of death in life? And vice versa. If you're in the Samhain part, what is my experience of life in death? But looking back to the past, and Scorpio is all about those extremes, right? Scorpio is the natural ruler of the 8th house of death, the topic of death, how we feel about it, what our beliefs are about it, maybe how we've experienced it externally. And the second house is about values. All right, let's pull these together. And I'm looking at this as past life stuff, because Scorpio is that, you know, Phoenix energy. And this is the karmic past. So I'm going to ask here for you to spend some time thinking about your past life vibes. And you don't need anybody to validate these for you. You validate them. All right? What feels incredibly familiar to you? What, you know, the people around you that maybe you felt like you've known them forever and you've just met them, that kind of stuff. But we can, and you know what? I almost picked the Phoenix deck tonight. It's sitting very available. Yeah, I may have to grab her. All right. Second house, though, talks about practicality and the physical and our values. The things that we like. Where's Tavia when I need her? Here come the treats. All right. All right, so I think we're narrowing the focus here to second house, which is value systems. So what are your longest standing value systems that possibly need to be transformed? What are things that you kind of stick with just because it's easy? But, you know, we need to transform how we feel about them. We need to dive deep into them and look at it and say, is this something I really value? Okay. Because it can also talk about past karmic stuff, dealing with money, dealing with the material, dealing with maybe times of extremity. And this can be in a present life too. Times of maybe financial extremity and not repeating the same mistakes as in the past. That's kind of a heavyish message. Okay. Hi, Tavia. There you are. Holding on and letting go. So you're seeing that as okay. Wow. That's very concise. Holding on and letting go. So that South Node can be holding on to things, not letting go of the past, not taking the karmic way forward. It's sort of like continually picking the old scabs. You know, you've been through the karmic trail, the lesson has been presented, and you might even have learned the lesson, or you see it clearly, but you're so used to the victim role that we can't let go of that past. We can't let it die. Scorpio is death, letting the dead die. Oof. Thank you, Tavia. And then the second house there, South Node in Scorpio is death grip. Ooh. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. So a death grip on our finances, a death grip on the material. I know a lot of people now are doing this dividing thing. And I think it's because collectively we feel there may be times coming where we want to be less burdened. Let's put it that way, less burdened. It's time to relieve ourselves of the burden of things so that we can let go of the past. Are you holding on to things simply because you believe they have value or you believe you'd be bad for letting them go? Those might be worth money. That's a way to hang on to things that you don't really need. Okay, then either sell them or, do something. Or I'm holding it because it belonged to someone that I loved. Well, do you like the thing? If you don't like the thing, you don't have to keep the thing, because the person you loved you always have that relationship with them. You will always remember them, even if you let go of the thing, So, yeah, I think thank you so much, Tavia. Releasing the death grip on the material, or acknowledging where you may have that death grip on the material. All right. Woo-wee. Yeah, well, we're in the extremes. I said life and death. That's not light, right? Okay. Number 2. The wisdom keepers are coming out first, and that's wonderful because these are the guides. So, okay, who is our dear guide for tonight? Okay, there are 2. We have integrity, hi Yoko, and commitment. All right. And I am going to read. So I should tell you as well that I am in a flare. I'm keeping it suppressed with lysine. But I'm reading with these cards, first of all, because I don't have them memorized, and the messages and the writing are so very good. But also it gives me a little bit of a break. The secret of the gift of integrity is to be able to hold your own space without reacting to your judgments or self-judgments. Okay. Now, my gift to you. I am here to help you complete your childhood. Holy shit. So, all right. And you can look at like the first house as the first part of your life, and then moving into childhood, third house is elementary education, and you go up the wheel. So, we could also look at that as something in childhood. It takes courage to uncover the wounds from your past. As you release yourself, and I want to say something too, I just talked about picking scabs, but there are times when we do have to revisit things, when we have matured, when we ourselves have gained some new perspective, for instance, of becoming a parent. And then you see your own parents' actions in a different light. So certain things like that will make you go back and revisit a trauma or a wound with new understanding, to glean more out of it, and, to grow in wisdom. Yes, I am really laying on the fire of Azrael tonight. Okay. As you release from the messages and modeling that no longer serve you, you will be free to see and receive the gifts from your parents. With a soft, compassionate heart, I have walked this road. When you are truly in your integrity, it won't be possible to take the judgments of others personally, or to identify as a victim of yourself or anyone else. This is not a path to be walked alone, so reach out for support. Allow a friend, therapist, mentor, or spiritual counselor to accompany you as you revisit those painful experiences that hardened your heart, made you feel inferior or superior, or kept you from expressing yourself freely and connecting deeply. Over time, you will learn to judge not from the mind, but from the heart. Wow. And it is a lifelong journey, I'm here to tell you. I remember thinking I was done with things at certain points, and it is a lifelong journey. If you stay awake, and if you stay, if you remain a student, and don't think you know it all. Okay, second one is commitment. A clear decision is felt as a quiet and powerful warmth that courses through your whole being. All right, I'm going to say this again because it is really, really helpful to acknowledge the feeling of when you are sure, when you are making a decision out of sureness. A clear decision is felt as a quiet and powerful warmth that courses through your whole being. An unclear decision can bring fear with it, fear and doubt and trepidation. It can bring kind of a frantic feeling of, I just have to decide. It can bring a pushing away of that feeling. But a clear decision should open up your chest and make you feel warm. Okay, my gift to you, I am here to give you permission to say yes to life, to trust it fully. It is time to hold nothing back. Don't worry about what others think or expect from you. Beware of giving your power away to a teacher, guru, or a system. Fly brave and blind as you embark on your path. And remember, few things are less healthy for you than half-heartedness. Don't do things half-assed. Do it with your entire ass. So whether you are succeeding or failing, do it with a full heart. Stand by your decisions. Trust your in-the-moment guidance. Honor the stream of your experiences and relationships until each cycle reaches its natural completion. Do these things and there will be no need to worry about the future, for the seed of your dreams lives in the heart of your commitment. It's all about the journey. And commitment is a very interesting thing because I've kind of tried to look for it in the elementals. What is it? And it has a part of all of the elements. It has a part of earth because you are bounding something. You are being concrete. Here's what I commit to. It's watery because when we commit to something, we're saying I'm going to stick with it through any of the ups and downs and the emotions, right? It's fire because that's the will and the willpower. And I mean, it is air too because it's a decision. Well, fire is a decision. But anyway, I can wrestle with that all night. At any rate, integrity and commitment, being able to release the past is what allows us to commit to the future, commit fully to the future and the things that we want to accomplish, the things that we're here to do. And commitment is required of each one of us. Commitment to ourselves, commitment to our own path, commitment to the North Node, to the karmic way forward. So we start with the releasing of the past so that we can commit to our true selves in our integrity and commit to the path forward. These cards are so beautiful and they're so very, very big. All right. Who is next? Yeah, they're gorgeous. I mean, you can just get lost in the eyes of every one of those. They are so. It's a deck full of guides. Okay, number 4. The music oracles. All right. Did they, Roxanne? Yeah, they hit home for me too, seriously. And commitment. I mean, today I had a time where it was like, oh, can I do a live tonight? And it's like, no, my commitment to do what I'm here to do, which is this right here. One more riffle, then we cut. Okay. Who wants to talk to us from the music oracles? These shuffle so nice. All right. They want me to stop. Queen Bee! Beyonce. The attribute or the attitude is confidence can be the most powerful aphrodisiac. The lifestyle is be both everywhere and nowhere at once. And the inspiration is when someone sings from the heart, don't go tone deaf. Then we have Leonard Cohen. Hallelujah. When it comes to art, all that matters is telling your story well. You know, I'm going to do each category across. Then we have Kurt Cobain. Wow. All right. Confidence can be the most powerful aphrodisiac. When it comes to art, all that matters is telling your story well. We're all in this mess together, so we may as well make some noise. So here's our being in our integrity and being confident. When we are in integrity, confidence naturally comes because we're fully inhabiting all of the talents, the gifts, the abilities that we have. So again, it has everything to do with releasing the past, and any doubts about your self-worth or any trauma to your self-worth, so that you can reintegrate the pieces that were split off from that trauma and watch the confidence grow. Okay. Telling your story well. There's that write in your own blood. Learn to write in your own blood. Tell your story because it's authentic. You know the road you have traveled and you know what it means to you, and that is your wisdom, and nobody can invalidate it or take it away from you. Nobody can. And we're all in this mess together, might as well make some noise. And then you join with others. When you come from that authenticity, here, ooh, goodness, here comes that tribe and that hiccup. Ooh. Then let's see here. Be both everywhere and nowhere at once. Travel lightly through the darkness. Don't become your own tribute band. Oh, that one I want to talk about. Don't become your own tribute band. In other words, don't just keep repeating the past successes. So that's another part of letting go of the past, is we can even live in, like, for instance, someone in show business that was very successful in their youth and is starting to age and maybe thinking that they're going to be worth less because they don't look the way they did when their fans loved them so. And so you keep trying to repeat the old thing and you don't let yourself evolve. There are plenty of musicians that piss off a lot of fans because they dare to evolve. When Bob Dylan went electric, people were so pissed off, and he was just evolving along with music. And one of my very favorites, Miyavi, is one of those artists that reinvents himself over and over and over again. But I love his voice, no matter what it sounds like, no matter what it comes out as. It's his voice, and he's very authentic in that. So let's stop resting on our laurels and trying to repeat the successes of the past, letting ourselves evolve, travel lightly through the darkness. Let yourself be in doubt as you let go of the past successes. Let yourself be in an open, undefined place to see what new might come through and might want to express itself with your voice. That's really great. Okay, when someone sings from the heart, don't go tone deaf. Learn to live in the intervals between events. And you can't buy teen spirit. Okay, this one is what I'm going with here. Learn to live in the intervals between events. So when you listen to music, and the melody goes and goes and goes, and think about somebody like Bach, it's just a constantly moving polyphonic kind of thing. But then think about music that has like spaces in it. There's music and then there's a little bit of silence. If music was just one solid sound with no spaces in between, it would be a mess. the intervals between, the silence in between the notes is just as important as the notes. When I was doing mother drum, and we would get, we would drum a heartbeat. So like this is a 4-beat heartbeat. Bump, 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 bump. So we have 2 beats and then 2 beats of silence. And it is natural for a group that's playing together to make the silence shorter than the space that the notes take up. And I would have to remind people, make the silence take up the same space as the the sound does. Or, so we're not comfortable with silence. We know that. That's at the root of everything. We're not comfortable with silence. Read an article today about daring people to sit for 20 minutes in a room with silent, no distractions, just sit alone with your thoughts. They stopped short of calling it meditation, but they did an experiment and, had people do this. And how many people got up and walked out of the room, that people were willing to take an electric shock in order to leave before the 20 minutes was up. They were so uncomfortable with sitting in silence with sitting with themselves. So, that's an interval between events, and we need to give ourselves those intervals so that we can stay integrated and connected to ourselves. And you can't buy teen spirit. That's about evolution too. Let yourselves grow up. Do we want to be the person that we were back then? I mean, yes, we wish we had the health and the vigor and the 40 less pounds, but anyway, thank you guys. Again, it's just another way of talking about the theme of day. Oh, and there's Barbara. Fake it till you make it. If you can't go right to the top, find somewhere else to go. I like that. All right. Who's next? Paul Simon really evolved. Yes, exactly. We have to let people grow. But I think this might be it. Here's the second house thing. When it's something that we put monetary value on, that we see as a commodity, we invest in things staying the same. And, artists take a risk when they decide to evolve and, rather than cranking out the same old stuff. All right, number 1. This is the Intuitive Night Goddess. And this is a deck that is unevenly cut. So I shuffled as best I could beforehand, and I will cut from the side to select. Oh, and I will shuffle this way too. This is fun because I discovered I can have my drums turned up a little bit more and it doesn't really make them louder for you guys, so I'm jamming tonight. Three, please. Okay, well, we've managed to come up with 3 majors here. We have the star. So this is important times, it's Beltane. And of the 2 holidays, Samhain is, considered to be the most powerful, and Beltane the second most. So, the star, meditation, which is the Hanged Man, and then death. Boom, boom, right in a row here. Okay, so what were we just talking about? Meditation, being able to sit without distraction, without agenda, without judgment. You're not going to do it without thinking, but the grounding meditation that we do can help you in that regard. When you know how to pull your attention down out of your head and into your body, and you're not supposed to go blank for 20 minutes. That would be called a nap. But you are there to experience, just purely experience. So you can start that experience with, what does my body feel like? What are the sensations of my skin? And, then of course, when you're doing a 20-minute meditation like that, the itching, twitching, and bitching is going to start. But you give yourself permission to move, What you don't want to do is sit and start like picking your nails or doing an activity. It's just being with yourself, being in the pause. And one of the things that you can focus on as an engagement, not as a distraction, is that space between the breaths, that interval, right? So, you exhale, experience that emptiness before the next breath wants to come in. Inhale, and watch it kind of go over the top and flow back out again. So, meditation in the center is very key. It's where inspiration comes from. It allows us to connect to the cosmos, to connect to that star energy. Star is hope, but it's also inspiration. It is the gods speaking to us and telling us what, here. That's what inspiration is. Hey, I'd like to see you do this, Here's something that needs to be in the world, and, something that vibes with your system. And this is, oh my gosh, I just realized this is one of my guides. That's Saraswati. And then we have the death card. So, meditation can be trying to remember, I think it might have been exhaling. That was called by some culture, I don't know, it's really, vague, but the little death, you exhale. You respire in and out. I talked about this on Sunday. So death is just being able to give up everything, being able to be in that space and just let it all go. And as I talked about on Sunday, when there's physical death in your family, around you, in your close circle, the bullshit of life falls away. So there's another death of just letting the unneeded, the unnecessary, the bullshit, the judgments, the everything that does not make my life better, letting it go. And sometimes letting go of stuff, the death grip on stuff, can, all right, hold on, it wants to fly away. It flew away, sorry. Curse you, Mercury! What are you going to do? It's talking about getting rid of stuff. Getting rid of stuff. I don't know. If it's very important, it will come back. But the death card, yes, about getting rid of and lightening the load. Spirit definitely wants, now with the times we're going through, we need to strengthen our connection to spirit. And not just to get us through those times, but also because when we are conscious, spirit has something, there's something we're here to do. We have a purpose to fulfill, and we need to be open to that flow from our collective soul through our open, clear mind. And I love this death card. I don't know if you can see. Look at the lack of face here. So this can talk about death of the identity, death of the ego. So that's another thing. When you go into meditation, you can let yourself, your personality go, the thing you think is solid and is not. It's a place for you to connect with the eternal part of you, the soul part of you, that cannot be made, cannot be destroyed, can be suppressed, but can't be destroyed. So, and really the only one that can suppress it is truly you. So we need to let ourselves let go of the preciousness, the way we cling to our identity as a precious thing. When they talk about in acting being precious with your character, and what that means is an actor gets a script that maybe their character is not in a very flattering light, and they'll say, oh, my character would never do that. Well, that's being precious with your character, not letting them have flaws. So we can do that with our own character, with our very own selves, of just, not letting us see kind of the full range of things, but also just letting go of those parts that we want to be precious with. I'm really drawn to these tiny, tiny little hands on this figure. I never noticed that before. The arms and the hands are teeny tiny. Anyhow, I'm going to take a couple more here. The universe. Star and meditation takes us to the universe. Here, this is the Nymph of Swords. So I'm looking her up. Okay. The nymph, like the other nymphs, this goddess is beginning a journey, and the swords ask us to consider associated decisions and actions. She's perched upon a ledge looking over the land. She holds a sword in one hand and an orb of light in the other. It seems as if she's offering these up, as well as using them to carve and illuminate her landscape. Birds and bees busy themselves around her honeycomb covering. Oh, she has a honeycomb skirt. She possesses a third eye, indicating that now is a great time to tap into your intuition before you take action. You are ready to strike, but be sure to take alternative perspectives into account before applying your ideas or power. Allow this shift to bring new modes of self-expression. So when you let go of some of the things of the past, some of the identities that have been built through your lifetime, it leaves you open to try new modes of self-expression. Trust that tapping into your higher self before acting hastily serves your cause. Take heed, yes, the pause. Take heed of the environment around you. Allow yourself to feel the winds move and guide you on this journey. Understanding that change is part of the process. You will learn what you need to protect yourself. Keep the light of honor and truth close at hand, and you will continue to pave the path of your destiny. Keywords: thought before action, new ideas, observe, analyze, perspective. And new perspective coming after the death card like that, and from out of meditation. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. So executing a plan. So we go, at these times of year, the energy is so abundant. It's not like there's a lot at the lifetime of the year and none at the death time of the year. Both of these have concentrated power. The biggest power there is in the universe, destroying, creating. So Three of Pentacles says to tap into that energy and execute a plan. And this can also talk about with other people. So maybe it's time to find a meditation class or an art class where you can channel your inspiration. Yoga, meditation, all of these things. The universe is open to us. Being in the pause is also being in that place of all potential. I am paused. Everything is open to me. Every choice is open to me. So with clarity, then we look at the plans we have made. Some of the plans are new inspired. Some of them we've let go of old ones to make room for the new. And with the idea that anything's possible, we create a new plan. All right. What do we hope about death? Seeing a face of stars. Ooh, let's see here. Yes, it is a face of stars. Exactly. It's, the universe shining through. Kind of emptiness of identity, of external identity. So what do we hope about death? Good question. Good question. What do you hope about your own death? What do you hope about experiencing other people's, if you still have elders in your family that are aging? What do you want your experience of it to be? Do you want to experience it? You're going to experience it one way or another, but in the physical body. What do you think about it? What do you want it to be? We're just going to ask that question and leave it open. Excellent question, Tavia. Okay, that one's gone. We have 3, 5, and 6 to go. That's 4. 3, 5, and 6, please. 3, 5, and 6, please. 3. Thank you. Dreams of Gaia. And yes, you see flashing up here. I have the little flashy ball, but it's going off when I bump the table, so we'll just let it flash. How I look. Whoopsie. How I love to shuffle this deck when I do it right. All right, hold up. Oh, goodness. All right, well, that's the way they say then. I did shuffle it thoroughly beforehand. What is it? What message do you have? 3, please? 3? We have 3. Oh, okay. Looky, there's 3. We have the 3 of fire. We have the 3 of air. And we have number 8, death, rebirth. Yes, indeed we do. Yes, indeed we do. The 3 of fire, creativity. Look at, he's on a journey. He's taken off. He's going someplace. He says, "Follow me." Look at his hair blowing in the wind, and the fire all around him. So this is someone who has made a decision and is on the move. And then the 3 of air, we see someone looking. Okay, hold on. This is studying. Looking at your resources, adding wisdom. So here we have the impetus, the inspired movement, and here we add the knowledge to it. And then we have death and rebirth. So, okay, I'm going to keep going and then we'll look at it all together. Here we have the 3 of water. Here we have the counselor. This is is it the seneschal, or I'll have to look that one up. And then we have the 10 of fire. Wow, okay. Okay, let's look at the 3 of water. Look at how she's looking at him. So here's the Beltane energy, you guys. Here's goddess and god, fire and water coming together. Bam. Now, let's look at death and rebirth and the counselor. And yes, I'm looking it up. Okay, which one's water? That's fire. That's water. So the 12, this deck has different courts. The counselor, the 12 of water. Okay, empathetic, wise, objective advice, trustworthy, emotional, understanding, clarity, sharing. All right. So we are talking about just being in the emotions. The counselor of water represents one who stands high, an elder advisor, a wise man or woman, whom the king or queen calls upon to discuss their feelings. So the counselor here, and it is in the suit of water. So we're talking about being able to understand our own feelings. And the 3 of water can have this celebratory feeling, or the flow. We have the inspiration and then the flow. And we also have the concrete plan. So this one too, the 3 of air, I'm looking at more as what resources do we need? What wisdom are we tapping into? And that's internally and externally. And, when you get to a certain point in, whatever your spiritual path, there's a sensation of not really learning new things spiritually. It's just being reminded. You read something and it reactivates the things that you already know, and you can have that profound sense of knowing. But death and rebirth, again, at this time, what is it that we are... what is it we're letting go of? First of all, first and foremost, what in the past are we letting go of? And the counselor here helps us to process that emotionally. So getting rid of stuff, maybe this is what I wanted to say last time, can trigger emotional stuff. And it can give us a real experience of grasping. When you feel like, I don't want to let some because it might be worth me. And then you think about what's going to happen if I let go of it. You know, is it really going to be devastating? Am I really going to be sorry that I let go of it? Then we come down here to the 10 of fire and look at him. He has a hammer and chisel. There's the eye up here, the chakras going up, and the flames. This dude is on fire, literally on fire with inspiration. All of the chakras aligned from the root all the way up. This is channeling the life force. So this is like the Kundalini, and I'm looking at it over here too with the snake energy. So this is getting down to the root chakra and feeling what's coiled there and addressing, you know, whatever fear we may find there, whatever survival issues we may find there, and then allowing the parts, you know, the trauma parts, the storyline to die off so we can raise that energy up into the next level where we deal with the emotional, and then raising it to the next level and the next level and the next level. I really need to do a prayer circle. And as that Kundalini rises, you feel this integrated power. Suddenly, you know, there's a feeling of just observing what you know is going to happen. You know that flow state? You've been in that flow state, right? Where it's just like, I can't believe I'm doing this. And when afterwards you turn around and look at what you created and went, where the hell did that come from? That flow state of just watching it happen. Everything's so right. That is a profound state, and that's here. That's here. And the flow state here. But it starts with action and motivation. Sometimes we go to written things for the inspiration, to get an idea, to spark something in us. Look at the little dragon coming, to spark an idea. The mind is the builder. It starts with an idea and an inspiration. Then we have that fire of motivation. And what's our motivation? To bring something, to rebirth something, to transform, to evolve, to recreate ourselves. We remember to be celebratory on the way. We look for that flow state. We process our emotions through writing in our own blood. We process our emotions and we infuse them into the work that we're doing. And look at that, catching fire. Absolutely catching fire. And bonfires. Think about Beltane and Samhain bonfires at both ends of the year. At Beltane, I think at both times of the year, the hearths are extinguished, particularly at Beltane, all of the hearth fires were extinguished. And then there was the community bonfire, and every household took a brand from that fire back to their hearth to rekindle the fire inside the hearth. Every hearth in the community rekindled from the same fire. And we can do that at Samhain too. It's like extinguishing the fire of summer and rekindling the internal fire of hearth to keep us warm all winter. Wow. Yes, sirree. I love this deck. Why don't I reach for it more often? Because I have so goddamn many, that's why. Okay, now we have 5 and 6 left, so I'm just going to go for even rod here. Hello, Maruta. Welcome. I'm so happy you checked in. Okay, odd, which means the enchanted forest. Oh, I don't know if I told you guys, I got another author comment on an unboxing. It was the Talisman Oracle. And we were talking about the good luck versus good fortune. So she answered that. And yes, it was what we were thinking, but she explains it so very well. And she took the point about the concealment card. You know, it says, well, to reveal yourself. So she took that point. But it's so wonderful to have an author acknowledge and give feedback and show that they're listening. It's a great exchange. Okay. Catherine, I'm glad. I'm glad it resonated, hon. Yeah, me too. Absolutely me too. All right. Big kisses. All right. Here we go. Got to remember what the suits are in this. Okay, I believe that's wands. So we have the 9 of challenges. And look at this, very internal. Holed up in a cave, hibernating, inside, where we have been for how long now? Safety, self-protective. But, you know, you cannot protect yourself from life and death. They are the way things are. This is the way the system works. So I think that, you know, particularly at Samhain, it's wonderful that we can confront and look at symbols of death and talk about our ancestors and embrace this whole journey of death. Because our culture hides it from us, which makes us fearful. So I'm looking at here maybe some fearfulness and hiding out. And then we have Child of Spells, and look at the innocence there. Look at the innocence that is so sweet and non-threatening that we have a little rabbit here, but look at the fairies dancing around the bunny too. Still just someone, and it almost looks like he's just created this rabbit, but it's this innocence of a child coming forth now, letting the child come forth. And you know, when we let go of this karmic past and the traumas of that time, then that child who was born whole can come out again whole. You know, we can be the protector. We can become the protector of this inner child, this wounded child, and invite the whole child out again, telling them, I will be your protector. And this, look at the dragon. So the victory card, the card of looky what we just did, creating marvels. If we come out of our fear and approach with the innocence of a child, we can create miracles. There's the 10 of spells. Spells, spells, and spells here. And then we have the Green Mother. Indeed, the Empress. And that last reading, all the threes, here's the 3. All right. The 10 of spells. What I'm seeing here is guiding each other. That when we gather together, we can guide each other along the path. That more hands are better than just the burden being all on one person. You know, the traditional 10 of Wands shows one person carrying this heavy burden. But here we have a whole group. But like I'm looking at this one with hands up. There's grief happening here. I'm going to look up. I love these decks that bring something new. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, I remember. Oh, I remember. People cards. There. All right. This is exhaustion, burnout, disenchantment, regret in hindsight, burdens too big to bear alone. So yes, we do have weeping here. So let's address this, the exhaustion and the burnout, which is one of the things that can drive us inside. And, you know, when we've just been going at it for so long, we've got to give all parts of ourselves a break. But then here comes the Green Mother, caring for that child. Let me see what we have here. 7 of spells. It's all spells, you guys. It's all wands. All right, hold on. I'm going to work backwards here. This again has that vibe of protectiveness. The 7 of spells, the 7 of wands. It's this group that is kind of standing up against, all the wands are drawn, they're standing up and facing this dragon. So we again have the idea of a group standing together. And it comes out of the exhaustion. Look at this. The holding up and then the exhaustion of people coming out now, coming out of pandemic, coming out of being hunkered down, exhausted and in grief. And here we have the ability, okay, so the inner child now takes center stage here. We allow the journey of that inner child to come out. And then we have our magical ability, our inspiration, our motivation. And look, there's a group of people. Again, this deck really focuses on community so that when we see single people, it really stands out. And then we infuse with the energy of Beltane. This is the energy of goddess, the energy of birth, the energy of form, of manifestation. What is it that we want to create? What does victory look like? And then we bring in that mother energy to nurture the child and manifest. This child of spells can also be a child of the mind. Here's something that's in its infancy of inspiration that I want to create. Are we creating this maybe from our own blood, from our journey of trauma and grief and the path that we have walked? And then down here, what we have is people who are here to help this come to birth, to help us create. Three of Boons and the Weaver of Spells. Look at that. So the Three of Boons talks about, again, the ingredients of everything, bringing the ingredients together, looking at who there is that will help protect this while it's growing, while you are bringing it to manifestation. And this side is just the magic itself. The magic itself. I believe in dragons. And I have the power of manifestation. I have the power of the goddess. I'm going to dance it into being. I want to look up the Seven of Spells. Holding your own under attack, trivial problems add up, misunderstandings and defensiveness. Ew, and there's a little closer look on these cards. As you can see, there's not much diversity among the gnomes, which is one reason they're suspicious of non-gnomes. So they're suspicious of this dragon. All right. So another message here is we cannot really be creative unless we come out of our own defensiveness and our own defendedness. I want another one here. Sunlight. There's sunlight. So the path to sunlight, the past and the dark side is coming out of trauma, coming out of our grief process, walking that long path of experience. And we have a choice here. We can get very defended and overprotective and precious about things, or we can create, and we can look at, you know, what energies and what people we need to gather in to protect the things that we are creating. Who are your cheerleaders? Who are the ones that will stand up for you? And vice versa. Because Three of Boons says we make the plan, read the recipe, follow the steps, and Weaver of Spells says then we bring it into manifestation and into the sunlight. That's empowerment, the light of day, clear-sightedness. Okay. Let's go to the Beltane Oracle. I'm going to keep these guys next to me here for a little bit. And looky here. This is, I do need to do a little bit of a cleanse because I haven't yet. So let's take a breath. Let's see where we're at here. How's everybody doing? And you know, that last spread really does underline how they all exist together. You know, we want things to wrap up into this wonderful, beautiful, positive place, but we're reminded that, you know, it's both and all of the time. I don't know if My charcoal's still lit, but we will try. No, it is not, which means when I light the next one, there will be instant fragrance. Look at the backs of these. Look at the bees. And look up things about the bee goddesses. There is a, I think it might be Hindu, meditation or a practice called Brahmari, where you do this buzzing in your throat. And it's not, you know, when you're a kid, did you ever do that thing where you'd go, and as my voice box is full of gunk, I can't do it, but that, and just, you know, that sound, it's kind of like that. Back in your throat. You buzz like a bee, and boy, if I did that for a little while, it would shake loose of all the gunk that's in my throat, and I think I'm going to have to do that. I shall not do it where you can witness, because that'd be gross. Okay. All right, Beltane Oracle. And this is going to be specific to Beltane and the life part of the year because, hey, oh, there we go. Who's in the middle? Sacred waters. Drunken by the swell of the sea, I can feel the blanket of her embrace. Unafraid of the presence releasing the cords, I call her in. I call her deeply within. Green Man, there he is. So we had the Green Mother and we had Green Man. Happy Beltane. And then we have the Fae. There we go, Samantha. Green Man says, all that I desire comes to me easily and effortlessly. One of the best affirmations ever. I know this to be true, for I am abundant in all that I do. And Fae says, not everything is as it may seem. Be cautious, dear one, for there is a story beneath the tale. Okay, let's look up. Ooh, I turned right to orgasm. Yeah, baby. Thank you. All right. This is healing, sacred waters. This card comes to a reading when you are ready to heal wounds that have troubled you for many moons, perhaps lingering pains from things lost, or the weight of the past that creeps up to haunt you at night. Pulling sacred waters is a sign that you will soon be renewed and your soul will release the cords that have bound you to hurtful memories of old. Boy, are we staying on theme tonight. You may not know what needs to be healed. You could be carrying baggage that isn't immediately present in your consciousness, but the effects of such deep healing will become evident in the changes happening around you. Do not question the blessings coming into your life. They are here because you are slowly learning to wash away the blocks that have previously prevented such abundance. Sacred Waters reminds you to be gentle with yourself in the coming weeks. Difficult emotions or painful memories may surface. But this is your spirit bringing them to your awareness so they can be healed for good. If you do experience painful memories, allow them to wash over you. Do not try to overcome what you feel or allow yourself to feel guilty for what you're feeling. Simply experience the wave, allowing it to pass at its leisure. So at the end, we get some extremely practical advice. And then, oh, wait a minute here. Did I miss a page? No. Right. Okay. Green Man, abundance. Everything the Green Man touches turns to gold. Or rather green, that is. He is the ultimate expression of abundance, and more specifically, an abundance mindset. When the Green Man invites you to his earthly lair, it is to infuse you with the spirit of wealth. Money will flow to you with ease, opportunities will suddenly come knocking, or you will find the fulfillment of a goal is just within reach. This is also a sign that you're on the right path, and what you're doing now is working, so keep at it. This card shows that you are living life and enjoying all the fruits of your labor. You feel more confident and sure of yourself, and other people have taken notice of this and seek your advice, knowing you have much to share. The Green Man is also a giver and provider of wealth. Be generous with your abundance, both financially and spiritually. Share your knowledge and invite others to partake in your good fortune. And then we have Faye. Man, and there goes my voice. Way down to the basement. All right, this is misunderstandings. So here's the Mercury retro message. The standard operating procedure for fairies is to be mischievous, devious, and playful to a fault, and for this reason they are often misunderstood. To them, they're simply living their lives as they always have and doing what is natural for who and what they are. You've pulled Faye because there's been a misunderstanding in your situation. Perhaps a miscommunication has occurred or someone is failing to see your point of view. Everyone has a different standard operating procedure, but different doesn't always mean wrong. Consider how you can be more compassionate for the people involved in this situation. You don't have to agree, but making space for the opinions of others can and often does diffuse any tense situations. You'll be surprised what you can learn by being a better listener, and may even find that all involved have been chasing the same thing the whole time, but just in a different way. The same is true if you're experiencing an internal struggle. Give any emotions you are experiencing time for expression. Okay. So I'm just going to go with the misunderstanding overall. And let's explore that a little bit. And I have this here for this very reason. I'm going to shuffle again, and I'm going to ask for clarity on that Fae card. Right. As they all tried to escape into my lap. Okay, can you please bring clarity of misunderstanding? What is this misunderstanding? Clarity, please. What is this misunderstanding? Give me two. One or two. The Hermit. Child of Boons. Okay. So the Hermit can talk about isolation, and maybe the misunderstanding is we just don't really know how to be socially anymore. Things have changed. Some things have changed for good and forever, and maybe we're not sure of exactly what those things look like. So being in isolation that we've been so separated from each other, can bring a lot of misunderstandings as we try to just kind of revert to the way we were. So that's saying maybe we can't do that. And Child of Boons is here to say we need some new, something new in the material, something new in concrete behaviors. And look at, here's the Weaver of Spells again. So we need to be open and receptive when we're coming back out into the abundant season of Beltane. We're going through our healing process, and we might want to jump right back out into the world of, looky, here I am, and I'm changed. And then people kind of are looking at us the same way, and there's a misunderstanding. And here with the healing and the Hermit, so maybe sometimes when we have these issues, we can step back and take a look at maybe how we have changed that is causing the misunderstanding, because this person thinks that is responding to us the same way they always did, but we're coming at it from a different understanding. But Child of Boons certainly says we need something new in the physical realm. We need to learn new things. We need to try new things concretely. And the Weaver of Spells just says it needs to be dynamic, it needs to be flowing, it needs to be responsive. Not reactive, but responsive. What can I do with this situation? How can I turn this to the positive? How can I turn this to the good? And what I was reading about being a listener, sometimes people just need to be heard, and need to know that they're being heard. I'm going back to my customer service days here, where somebody would call and bitch and bitch and bitch, and if you're giving them the yabbits, yeah, but what about this? Yeah, but you did this wrong. Yeah, but whatever, and they're just getting hotter and hotter, and you can say, okay, listen to them and kind of repeat back, I hear what you're saying. With customer service tangles, I always found that the best way through was to get on their side. To be on their side. Yes, I would be so frustrated too. I understand where you're coming from. Let's see how we can solve this problem. So I think that's kind of what we're talking about here, is collectively our healing. You know, first of all, we bring, and Green Man energy is again, the igniting energy. He talks about abundance and stuff, but he's the thing that triggers, you know, the sperm. He's the sperm. Ding! He's the lightning striking the water. He's the spark that starts the fire, and she is the hearth that contains the fire. So, as we come out into this abundant time and, you know, looking at the healing that we've been through, be aware of how you've changed and how you are approaching things differently. If there is a misunderstanding, especially on this Mercury retro, maybe it's time to table it, or, you know, try not to work it out too much, but sit with it internally. How have I changed that maybe I need to express, you know? Something like that. All right. I think. Yeah, I'm loving it. I am loving it, Maruta. Absolutely. Yay! Thank you, Maruta. Welcome. Welcome to the channel. You guys have been unnaturally quiet tonight. It makes me worry, but I've still seen chat going on, so I know you can hear me. But, you know, I know you're just soaking it up, and I appreciate that too. Well, what do you think? You know what? I'm going to grab that Phoenix deck. We're at 1 hour and 40 minutes almost, and I still can go. So let's do this. The Death and Rebirth deck. That can tell us about, hold on. All right. This is Susan Shepard. And I have another one of her decks, and I can't remember which one it is. All right, the book next to me, because this is not a deck that I've ever done readings with. It's a past life thing, but I'm going to use it as a reading deck. All right, so the question here is, thank you, Marita. Thanks for that validation. I like to know. All right, I'm going to spread and pull from this. And we're asking about a past life experience, perhaps another time we were all together, a culture and a time that is significant to the issues we are facing now. That's what I would like to see. A time and place that is significant to the issues our culture, our globe, all of humanity are facing now. I'm coming over here. I want this one. This is 23. And we have early Christian catacomb painting. What is significant to what we're suffering now? Early Christianity. Okay. We are going to read the conclusion here. Maybe not all of the conclusion, but we're going to read it. So just a couple little things. The place, largest community of early Christians, was located around Rome, Thessalonica, Philippi, Ephesus, Athens, Antioch, Sidon, Tyre, Jerusalem, and Alexandria. The period is AD 40 to AD 312. This catacomb is dated around AD 200. Language group is Aramaic, Coptic, and Latin-based Indo-European languages. Aramaic is one of those vibration languages. All right. Conclusion. If you have chosen the early Christian catacomb painting as a past life symbol, you understand and try to practice universal love. You carry within you the light of self-sacrifice and the flame of true spiritual knowledge. So let's acknowledge, first of all, that the very early Christians were not the fucked up ones that we have today, and that there are many now Christians that aren't fucked up as well. So, I'm appreciating now this early Christianity that was close to the actual teachings of Jesus before the church was well established and started weeding things out. Yes, it is better to give than to receive. I will argue with that. You can't give unless someone receives. It's a wheel. Okay. Since childhood, you have voiced and followed this principle, if only on the most intuitive level. You are strong, loving, and helpful to others. It's easier for you to be kind than to lapse into colder and sensitive behavior. Even when you've been abused and miserably exploited, you'll still be able to find enough tenderness in your heart to forgive. That is a rare quality. This doesn't mean you don't carry a heavy weight of sorrow in your soul. On the contrary, you may have a tendency to dwell on past injustices to an unhealthy degree. Here we go. It is important for you to understand that your strong imagination and sense of injustice feed these feelings. If you're not willing to master your feelings of martyrdom, you may end up miserable and bitter. The flip side of idealism is often cynicism. You cannot become a cynic without having once been an idealist. I'd argue with that too. One's Neptune, the other one's Saturn. Two different things. But I want to go back to, if you're not willing to master your feelings of martyrdom. Remember when I was talking about being precious about things? That's the martyr thing. You know, this is misery, but I'm going to hang on to it because that's what gets me attention. You know? Let's see. True joys in giving, you expect little in return, only companionship and acceptance. There are times when you must withdraw into yourself and gather your energies to face the world. It's good that you're able to do this because you would collapse without these periods of solitude. So there's that balance again. And it is talking about childhood things that we have to let go of. There's one sticky situation in which you often find yourself. And so this deck, I want to tell you, you lay all the cards out face up, and then you just pick like the 5 that really, the images really trip your trigger, whether it's for good or for ill. And then this is, you know, one of your past lives. So it's reading this as if you have chosen this as a past life card. What I'm looking for is just the traits and the issues here, right? There's one sticky situation in which you often find yourself. Your ability to forgive may attract people who will rely on it. You often see your friends as enemies and your enemies as friends. Even when you know that people are hurting you, you may still try to protect them. This sometimes stems from your wish to abstain from judging others. When a partner or friend isn't acting in an acceptable manner, you'd rather bury the hurt and forgive than confront the problem. It's especially difficult to be confrontational and direct. I want to, as a last point here, talk about forgiveness, because I know this has got a big buzz for some people, and me included, with Christianity and the whole forgiveness and turn the other cheek thing. Because it does have that kind of victim-y, martyrdom-y vibe to it. So instead, let's talk about release, because that's our theme for tonight, right? Letting go of the past, releasing the past, to be able to open your heart in compassion. And again, to be able to give your gifts. So let's shove that more blessed to give than to receive thing, and recognize that we have to do both. You know, we can't only give, we have to receive as well. And to receive gracefully and to give gracefully is the highest goal here. You know, we give freely and we receive gracefully and gratefully. And I guess we can talk about maybe the emphasis not being on receiving, but when we give, you know, and we recognize when someone else wants to give to us, then we can openly receive, openly give, and that wheel turns without lapsing into victimhood and martyrdom. And giving forgiveness, maybe we just give release. I release you to your karma. I release you from my story, from my past, and I complete my healing journey without this, right? Hi, Marcus. Tarot cards linked with Zodiac. Okay, yeah, can't argue with that. Okay, so yeah, really interesting for me to think about this very, very pagan time of year, and we bring Christianity in. But I think too, this idea of people that are there to serve the community, when you think about the Essenes, you know, one of the groups that he was, Jesus, you know, who's he? Jesus was trained by, were the Essenes, and they were healers. You know, they would travel and they would heal people, and that's how he learned his healing skills. So could have been in India too, both and. So looking at the healer part of yourself and applying that healing part of yourself to yourself, bringing the healer in you to you. Right? I think that's where we're going to wrap it up as we're looking to let go of our death grip on the material and our death grip even on this life as a material thing. This life is a material thing, y'all. Never realized it in that way before, but this life is a material thing because it's you in a body. What dies is the body, nothing else. The body is the only thing that dies. The consciousness does not. The consciousness, the memories, the awareness, you know, the healing ability, the magic, none of that dies. So we can release our death grip on this material existence. Learn to give of the gifts that we have. Learn to release those with whom we've finished our karmic journey. Release them to their karma, and that means we embrace our own karma and don't meddle. And it means we're not invested in them reaching enlightenment any longer. It's only our business to reach that on our own. So releasing someone to their karma can also mean, I am not going to meddle with your karma anymore. It's up to you. And you are freeing yourself from a huge burden. Huge, huge burden, you know. Not only is it not your business, but you can't change anybody else. You can't make them realize. The things you have to realize, the soul lessons cannot be taught anyhow. So there we go. South Node Christian tradition. Ooh, tell me more, Tavia. Tell me more. But yeah, the path that we've already traveled. We have already traveled this patriarchal, hierarchical, dogmatic religious path. And that way is the way of suffering. And look at how that path has been so very materially grounded, oriented, and what it's turned into. Wow. So we can reclaim the good parts. We release the not so good parts. Hey, Laura. Love these messages tonight. I'm displaying the star meditation of death. Yeah. Awesome. That's a good idea. Right. Martyrdom. Yes. Martyrdom is the old way. So what's the alternative to martyrdom? Martyrdom is I will give without receiving anything. I will give and I expect nothing in return, but boy, you're going to know. I don't need anything. It really is an attention getter, and we can release that as well and give openly, wholeheartedly, with love, and receive in the same way. And the receiving is what keeps us out of that martyr place, I think. Yep. Very good. Excellent insights. Excellent insights tonight, you guys. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you so much for being here. Now, I will tell you, speaking of second house stuff, my channel is not monetized. And I have no interest in monetizing it because then that makes you, I have to put up, it puts pressure right away. It puts pressure on things. And I am officially retired, so I don't run a business anymore. However, I am open to receive. And there are links down below if you would like to send me a little something, or you can join my Patreon for $3 a month. And this month, it was all wacky because of what we went through. But at the beginning of the month, I will do a poll with my patrons over which deck I'm going to pick, and then I will shoot the unboxing and give it to you guys first. Also, I want to check the files in Patreon, because if they're just still up, then you also have access to like a full beginner's astrology foundational thing on the flat wheel. All right. So I will check if those aren't available to you guys now. I will go back and do it. But for $3 a month, it's a lot of information. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much. I'm glad that I didn't pare this down tonight, because I really needed it. I won't set myself. Oh, yes, I love that, Tavia. I won't set myself on fire to keep you warm. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Tavia. Yep, they felt good to me too. I needed it, and I appreciate you being here. I will see you on Friday with an unboxing, and then the next time at a live stream or whatever else I do next. I'm promising anything. I'm not promising anything at this point. Please be kind to yourself through the rest of this retro. It stations again, I believe, on May 14th, and then give it a few days to pick back up to speed. So just be gentle. Be gentle, review, reflect, revise, whatever you need to revise. All right, you guys, take care. And I will see you next time. I truly love you. I truly do. I really, really mean that. I love you guys. I'll see you next time. This is Luna. Blessed be.